Hi, Dan Blanchard here. I'm a school teacher, coach, author, speaker. No hear, no speak. Yep, that's me. When I was real little, just a toddler, right? My parents didn't know what was wrong with me. And actually, they thought back in those days, they used the term mentally retarded. My parents thought I was mentally retarded because I wasn't speaking like all the other kids. I was just making animal noises, kind of like pointing at things, and I couldn't speak. Well, at some point, eventually, they find out that my older brother has a hearing challenge, right? So they get his ears checked and they say, oh, he can't hear very well. He can hear a little bit, not very well. So then that led it to me. They said, well, maybe we should check the younger boy's ears. And they were like, oh, no, he can hear. He's good. He's just mentally retarded. But anyways, they got my hearing check, and it turned out that I was completely deaf. Couldn't hear a thing, nothing, right? So the experts, the doctors, they told my mom, they said, listen, we've got good news and we've got bad news. Okay? The good news is we can do an operation and fully restore both of your boys' hearings. But the young one, he'll never speak. He missed the milestones and he'll never speak. Well, my mom wouldn't tolerate that. Right? And when I got the operation done and I could hear, couldn't speak, my mom took me to this little old nun. And every single week, this little old nun gave me speaking lessons. My mom and this little old nun were determined that this little boy wasn't going to fall by the wayside and fall through the cracks, that I would have a fighting chance in life and I would speak. And guess what? It worked. It worked so well that today my wife sometimes tells me that I speak too much. And my friends make jokes about how the nun was probably an Italian nun from Boston because I tend to use my hands a lot and I leave off the R's a lot when I'm talking about going to my car. All right, so it's kind of a funny thing, but it is. So now what's the lesson of this? Obviously, that was a huge adversity I had to overcome. Not being able to hear and being told by all the experts that I would never speak. And all these years later, I'm a professional speaker. So that was a huge adversity I had to overcome. But here's the other lesson from that, is that you have teammates. Whether you know it or not, no matter what your life circumstances are, no matter what you're born into, no matter what you're going through at that moment. I didn't know that nun. She stepped up, and she was a teammate. And my grandmother stepped up because sometimes she gave me rides when my mom wasn't around to give me rides. So between my mom, my grandma, and that little old nun, God bless her, wherever she may be, right, that little old nun, they were my teammates that I didn't even know I had. Every one of us has people out there that will help us, that want to help us overcome the adversities in our life.